Nobody comes into this house without paying the price.
Not here! Not ever!
Welcome one and all to another edition of MBL Live. I am OSU. I'm hanging out here with Bomber, and boy, do we have a great matchup today. In the AFC, we got the 4-2 Houston Texans and the 3-3 Oakland Raiders. Bomber, this should be a great game between two great defenses. What do you think is one of the keys for each team as they head into this game?
Well, first I want to start with the Oakland Raiders, who are obviously having a slow start. They're 3-3 right now. Their defense is essentially carrying them, which is completely opposite from last year. They're third in the AFC West. I don't really know what's going on with them, but I expect for them to win this game, going against this tough Houston defense, we need to see a lot more from Derek Carr, who's currently 6 touchdowns, 14 interceptions. Completion percentage at 63%. Definitely been struggling this year, so I need to see more from Derek Carr.
As we head off of this opening kickoff, another interesting note today, we have the Houston Texans as they're going to start out on the defensive side. What is a key for Houston if they're going to come out and win this game?
I just continue to pressure. They need their defense to force turnovers. That's how they've been living this whole year. You got Lamar Miller averaging 4.8 yards per carry, 3 touchdowns, but their offense has not been that great. They're about middle of the pack this season passing, slightly better rushing, but this team relies on the defense. So shutting down Derek Carr and forcing Derek Carr to make decisions and have to beat you, it seems to be the key to beating the Oakland Raiders.
Oh, man, and not the way you want to start the game if you're the Houston defense with an early offsides penalty. It looked like the hard count from Derek Carr got them to jump.
And let's talk about Derek Carr a little bit. Last year, his QBR was over 100, and he was in the top 5 QBs, and obviously kind of in the playoff race. As a little pitch to the side as Latavius Murray gets his wheels turning. But back to Derek Carr. So he was top 5 last year, OSU QBR. This year, he's at 67.6. He's at the bottom end of the pack. Hashtag Carr overrated has been trending on MBL Twitter. That's at Bomberly. Go ahead and give us a follower. What do you think, OSU, about Derek Carr's performance thus far, 6 games into the season?
I think we're looking at what is the typical sophomore slump. I mean, this is a young guy. He's going to have his ups and downs, and clearly this year, unlike last year where he was so solid, this is a year that has just not gone well for him so far. As Carr hands it off to Murray, another run to the right side. He gets a good chunk there, and I think that's going to be a key. Let's see what you think. Getting those big plays on first and second down, making it second and third and manageable. A nice 4-yard run there on first.
Yeah, nice run by Latavius Murray, who's been leading this offensive attack, averaging 5.4 yards per carry. And he's 8th in touchdowns on halfbacks with 4 touchdowns this season. He's really just had a tremendous game, a tremendous season thus far.
Carr in the shotgun, 3 wide to the right, 1 to the left, and a timeout called by the Texans. They seem a little discombobulated right now on defense. An early penalty and now a timeout early in the first quarter.
Well, it might take a little bit for Houston to adjust to this different. This is a different Raiders team than last season. So last season, this Raiders team was a pass-heavy offense, and they were led by Derek Carr. And this year, they're kind of changing it. They're going back to more of a run-heavy attack, using Latavius Murray and his ability. He's pretty much a freak of nature. So they're giving him the ball and letting him run wild and letting him loose this season more in the offense. And it's something that's going to need to adjust to as the Texans get a nice stop there on a inside zone handoff up the middle to Latavius Murray, bringing up a 3rd and 6 for Oakland.
And with this 3rd and 6, we're looking at here in the first quarter. We haven't really seen Derek Carr having to throw the ball. This might be an opportunity here on a 3rd and medium. He's got 3 wide to the right, 1 to the left in the shotgun. Rodgers to his left. He drops back, and he looks over the middle, and he throws a pick. That looked like, I don't know where he was throwing it to. It looked like the middle was well covered and almost made it look like he was throwing directly to that Houston Texans linebacker.
And that right there is an example. So Derek Carr, 2 passes thus far, or 1 pass. He brings his interception total to 15 on the season. That's 6 touchdowns, 15 interceptions for the 3-year quarterback from Fresno State, Derek Carr.
And now we get to see Connor Cook come out for the Texans, and he's taking a shot deep already on first down, overthrows everybody. Interesting game today as Connor Cook comes out, starting for the Houston Texans instead of Brock Osweiler, the $70 million man, against the team that drafted him. What do you see out of Connor Cook this year?
Well, Connor Cook hasn't been great, but he's been better than Derek Carr. And what did they trade? They traded Connor Cook, got traded for a third or fourth round last year for the Texans to acquire him as he overthrows again over the middle of the field. You look at Connor Cook, 8 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. Not really playing too well this season. Completion percentage 65, slightly better than Derek Carr's. So I think he's possibly a quarterback that can develop, and they really think he has a bright future with Houston. But then you got all that money back sitting on the bench with Osweiler. What are you going to do with that in the offseason is what a lot of Texans fans are wondering.
And that is the big question. Connor Cook, known coming out of Michigan State as a game manager. He comes out here in the shotgun, 3rd and 10. He's looking to throw once again. Throws it over the middle. And wow, we already have our second pick of the game. Butler with a pick right over the middle and another great defensive play, giving the Oakland Raiders good field position.
Yeah, that's just forcing it right there. I mean, that's just a young quarterback making a throw in the traffic and trying to pick up the first down rather than taking what's given to him. And that's 9 interceptions on the season for Connor Cook with 8 touchdowns. He had a QB rating of 92.7, so he had about 20 points higher than Derek Carr coming into this game.
I wonder if that is going to be things that seem to come. They hand it off to Latavius Murray, another run up the right side, a nice little 5-6 yard game, bringing up a 2nd and 5. Wonder if that's what we're going to see for the rest of the game. We've already had 2 turnovers in the first 3 minutes of the first quarter. Do you think either of these quarterbacks can settle down and keep the turnovers off the board?
Well, you'd think they get better as the game progresses, but these are 2 really good defenses. We're not talking about that enough, OSU. These are 2 great defenses, and they're going against 2 offenses that are struggling. So I expect to see more turnovers as the game progresses in this game.
And right there we see another example of the great defense. Houston bringing what appears to be a safety blitz, and Howe comes right around the left side and takes down Derek Carr, bringing up a 3rd and 11 as he comes out in an obvious passing down shotgun formation, 2 wide to each side. Carr takes the snap, looking over his options, and going deep and hits Amari Cooper. First time we've heard his name today.
Yeah, Amari Cooper's kind of having a down season thus far for the Oakland Raiders, not given his traditional powerhouse play. He's only had 1 touchdown on the season. That's his 25th reception. He's just over 400 yards in the early season. As another handoff to Latavius Murray up the middle, they pick up about 5. But yeah, we would like to see more out of Amari Cooper. But let's look at that play that was just ran, that throw. So it was a 3rd and long, obvious passing situation. OSU, they come out and they pass the ball, and it's kind of a, it's a pass where you throw it up to your number 1 receiver and have him make a play. But you can't live and die by that, or you end up with the stats that Derek Carr's been putting up this year.
Carr dropping back to passing on 2nd and 4 and throws it over the middle and just flat out missed Amari Cooper. And on that previous pass play where the only completion he has so far, he put the ball perfectly where only Cooper could get it, and then he comes back on this one and misses completely. A little bit erratic right now for Derek Carr.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you look at the tape on Houston has the number 1 passing defense in the NBL. So this is something that you know going into this game, and you know you're looking for these tendencies, and it causes you to rush your throws. And it's right there, Carr kind of rushed his throw, and he didn't set his feet, and it caused for him to be a little off on that target to Amari Cooper in the end zone.
Carr in the shotgun, 3 wide to the right. This is a big 3rd down here, and
that's
right
JJ
up the middle.
And that's
JJ
Watt.
Oh, he's going to be feeling that one tomorrow.
JJ is 5th in the NBL in sacks this season. He has 6.5 sacks as Oakland puts it through for 3 and go up 3-0 on a field goal. But JJ Watt has been just a menace this year, along with his counterpart Jadeveon Clowney, who is 5th in tackles for losses this year. He's got 9. So this defense has been running rampant. Number 4 defense in the NBL, the Houston Texans.
Safe to say that Derek Carr isn't going to last very long taking hits from J.J. Watt like that. So the Texans come out. Connor Cook coming back out to lead the offense. As we know, the last drive ended in an interception. We're going to see if they can maybe get something going here. Coming out in the I formation, and tossing it to
there he
Miller
goes.
around the right
There he
side,
goes,
and
baby.
he breaks it. He is at the 40. He is, what a nice tackle there by Nelson, saving the touchdown, but a huge play on first down.
And what is that we always hear about halfbacks? Speed kills, and Lamar Miller's almost like the new age, the NBL version of Chris Johnson, CJ2K in his prime. Jalen Strong gets a first down on a nice quick drag throw, picking up the first down from Connor Cook, who gets his first completion of the game. But wow, what an electric run. When you have a halfback like that, you know, as I said before, he's averaging 5.4 yards per carry. He's got 4 touchdowns already. He's in top 10 rushing. He's got that ability just to hit those home runs and get those really big plays for the Texans offense.
And not only that, you look at after the big run, a little bit of confidence there for Connor Cook in the backfield, making the throw he needed to, a confident throw, coming out. Miller in the backfield, too wide, hands it off to Miller right up the middle, and he gets a nice 4-yard gain. The big offensive lineman there parting the Red Sea and getting him a good 3-4 yard gain, bringing up a second and manageable.
Yeah, and a lot of people didn't think Lamar Miller would be someone that you'd be handing the ball off to up the middle, but he's been their 3-down back this season. He's been the lone carrier this year. He's got 71 attempts as a wild throw by Connor Cook, looking at Lamar Miller off a play action end around to the flat. But you look at Alfred Blues, only had 2 carries this year, and Lamar Miller's had 71. So it's been a predominantly dominated backfield, a backfield dominated by Lamar Miller. That's what we're trying to say. He's been a 3-down back. He doesn't get off the field very much, and he's constantly in the backfield next to the young Connor Cook as he continues to learn the offense.
And those plays just like that one are the ones that don't show up in the stat sheet. They only show up as an incompletion, but he did have a man out there. 3rd and 7, looking, throws it out to the flat again. A nice completion, but not enough for the first down. It's going to bring up a 4th and 4, and I assume the field goal unit is going to come out.
And as you mentioned earlier about Connor Cook, as in college he was known at Michigan State as a block field goal.
Oh, the field goal is blocked! The ball's on the ground. Nobody's picking
special
it.
teams. And I was just about to say, Connor Cook, that's not a bad throw. Take the 3 points. Don't force anything. You already have an interception. Special teams comes out there and gets you 3, but it doesn't happen. And that Raiders defense and special teams is so tenacious with a blocked field goal. Wow. That's how you change the momentum in the game.
And let's see what Derek Carr can do with that momentum. A big game-changing play there, blocking the field goal. Comes out in a big formation, handing it off once again to Latavius Murray. Not a lot there on first down, but what can a play like that on special teams where you're expecting a field goal to go through the uprights, your defense comes through with a big block, what can that do for a team coming out on offense?
Well, I mean, it does a lot. I mean, Connor Cook, now the fact that he checked it down, you're like, why aren't you pushing the ball down the field now? Why aren't we trying to pick up the first downs? I guess we can't settle for 3 when our special teams is getting dominated like that. And there's Latavius Murray, shrugs him off, looks to pick up the first down, possibly a horse collar not called. Puts it to a 3rd and 2 for Oakland. It does a lot. It does a lot, OSU. And I'll tell you what, this Oakland Raiders team, they're hungry. They need this. They're desperate. Maybe they're more desperate than Houston right now. They're sitting at 3-3, 3rd in their division. They won the division last year, so they're looking. They need these big plays, and they need to turn their season around today.
Nice confidence throw there by the Oakland Raiders, able to get the first down there on the underneath route. And I think what you're saying is right. I mean, at 3-3, but 3rd in your division, they got to be desperate here, especially in a game that I think the Raiders feel is a winnable game, but is one not only that's winnable, one they think they have to have.
Yeah, they do. I mean, you can't go to 3-4. First of all, you can't go to 3-4 in the AFC. At this point in the season, you're almost halfway through. They won the division last year. The Chargers are dominating. The Broncos have already swept the season series on them, so it's a totally different as Derek Carr tries to go underneath again for an incompletion. Great defense by the Houston Texans. It's just a totally different situation right now. It's almost must-win for this team. I'd like them to get 2 or 3 games above 500 to go on a roll like that to get their momentum going and hopefully have them look towards the playoffs in the near future. You know, start talking playoffs. But right now at 3-3, they do not look like a playoff team to me in the NBL right now.
2nd and 10, coming out under center in the I formation, handing it to Murray right up the middle, and he is met at the line. Big hit there by Jadeveon Clowney. A disappointing rookie season, but coming out hitting hard today. Already creating havoc on the inside for this inside run game for Oakland. 3rd down, Carr coming out, 3 wide to the left. two to the right, empty backfield, Carr dropping back, looking
wow.
for a receiver,
Just horrible.
and just another bad throw. I mean, I hate to say it, but I know it looks easy from up here as we're watching the game, but there's nobody on that sideline that can think that's the right throw, right, Bomber?
I mean, what do you say to something like that? I mean, what is the #1 trending hashtag on NBL's Twitter?
Carr overrated.
Hashtag Carr overrated. As a play action coming out the backfield wide open. There goes DeAndre Hopkins. Give him a little dance. Come on, baby. Takes it outside to the Raiders 25-yard line, really pushing it downfield and going to capitalize on another turnover from Derek Carr. But let's talk about this. Hashtag Carr overrated. I mean, man, he's definitely struggling this season.
Well, and you got to feel like this is almost a big moment here in this game as Houston tosses it out to Lamar Miller on the left side. He's got another big lane. He's going to run for a first down. Almost feels like right now Houston not only has all the momentum but has all the confidence. And if Oakland's going to stay in this game, I feel like they almost need to get a stop here.
Yeah, it seems like Oakland's having problems shutting down the edge versus Lamar Miller. That's 3 rushes, 2 tosses, 1 up the middle, and both of the tosses have gone for some significant gains. And let's talk Derek Carr, 6 touchdowns, 16 interceptions on the season now. Already got 2 this game, man. It's really questioning. You know, they got Ryan Mallett sitting there on the bench. I mean, are we going to start talking that if he throws one more this game, or is it too close? Is it too close? We don't give up on him just yet. I mean, I think maybe he needs to get pulled. Maybe he needs to go think about this and calm down and settle down because he's forcing throws right now.
And I know Oakland fans are not the most quiet in the world as Cook drops back, throws underneath to his tight end, gets a nice chunk of yards back, bringing this to a 3rd and short. I think you know, as you've played against Oakland in the past, that the Oakland Raiders fans are not ones to keep quiet. I think that Carr overrated hashtag wasn't started by anybody but those Oakland Raider faithful.
Definitely a passionate fan base, and they expect a lot from their team. They just won the division last year as a little handoff up the middle to the tight end.
Wale.
Takes it down to the 1-yard line.
And now we got a 1st and goal here on the 1 for Houston, looking to punch in and capitalize on that Derek Carr turnover. They break the huddle coming out, big formation, I formation, Lamar Miller. And it's just a quarterback sneak right up the middle, and Connor Cook into the end zone to give Houston a 6-3 lead.
That's exactly what the Houston Texans needed at this point in the game. It should be 10-3 right now. I know that's what all the Houston fans are saying, but you're up 7-3. Great defensive play by this defense so far, really shutting down the Raiders' passing attack and capitalizing with a nice touchdown. Definitely looking good for the offense now. Connor Cook gets in the end zone with the quarterback sneak.
Talk about a major change in our commentary. As he's taken out of the end zone, he's up to the 20. He's met well before the 20. Probably should have taken a knee there. But talk about a big change in the game. Oakland blocks a field goal. We're talking about how all the momentum is on their side, how they can go down and put a 10-0 lead on the board. And instead, Houston gets a turnover, drives down. Now they have the lead, and Oakland is a little bit on their heels right now.
Yeah, I'm looking at Oakland. I'm looking at a team that was 1 game away from the Super Bowl. To NBL Super Bowl 19, they were a game away as they run a little screen, and it looks like Latavius Murray just drops the screen pass. But this team has no injuries, OSU. 0. There's no excuse why this team should be playing this poorly this early in the season, coming off such a fantastic season they had last season.
And a team that didn't lose a whole lot in free agency, and one of the few teams without injuries. We've talked over and over on NBL Live about the injury bug as Carr comes out 3 wide to the left, 1 to the right, dropping back to pass, and he throws it underneath, and it is juggled and dropped. And that's the one thing that while Derek Carr has no doubt made some bad decisions, he really got his wide receivers have got to come up big for him because those are the plays that he needs to have to build a little confidence. And right there, his receiver let him down.
Yeah, you're seeing receivers dropping passes, but then the catch I did see from Amari Cooper, he went up there and got it over in traffic. You know, they're asking them to make spectacular catches while the receivers are dropping open catches. As Carr seemingly has all day in the pocket and just takes almost a coverage sack right there, and they're going to be punting on 4th and 10.
3 for 11 to start this game. I wonder, as we look at Oakland coming out to punt, I wonder if Carr's going to come out and start giving the ball not only to Latavius Murray, but trying to throw it to Amari Cooper a little more, as he's the only one that's come up with the big catch at this point. Houston receives the punt, and
there he goes.
little lane on the right side. what is he doing? Oh, man, he looked like he had an open lane and tried to get a little too cute there, didn't he, Bomber?
And that Will Fuller on the punt return looking explosive as the Texans have some big playmaker ability players on their team.
Houston coming out, and how big of a drive is this not only for Houston but for the Oakland defense? So what's the difference in the locker room going down 14-3 as opposed to 7-3, or possibly getting the ball back and be able to get points?
Oh, it's a huge difference. I mean, and if Houston puts up 14, they're going into the halftime thinking it should be 17. We're dominating this team. We just got to keep doing what we're doing. So it would be huge if Houston can put some points on the board here. And I honestly wouldn't be upset if they just took 3 right here. You just don't want to see a turnover. You don't want to see a turnover at this point with Connor Cook. You'd like to see him move the ball and move the chains and just manage themselves into a field goal and possibly go into the half up 10-3.
Little end around there on first down goes nowhere. Coming out on 2nd 11, Cook comes out under center, 2 wide to the right, 1 to the left. Miller in the backfield. He's calling some hot routes at the play, takes the snap, dropping back, looking to throw, goes to his outlet. Lamar Miller,
tackling.
and Miller with a nice little missed tackle. He's at the 30. He's at the 20. He breaks another tackle, and he is down at the 11-yard line. And talk about another big play for the Houston Texans.
They're calling him Lamar Thriller because when he catches the ball, anything can happen. Get on your toes. This guy, he's exposing the Oakland Raiders' open field tackling issues that they've had all year. Do you see that open field tackle just completely whiffed, completely out of position? And if you're that bad of an open field tackling team, playing against Lamar Miller is not going to be a good Sunday for you.
Miller with a run up the middle. He stopped at the line of scrimmage. But we talked about this. Not only is Miller having a great game, but he's having a great game against one of the top defenses. Do you think Houston's at all surprised as to how much success they're having against this Oakland defense?
Well, I mean, Lamar Miller's been averaging 5.4 yards per carry, and, I mean, he's doing more than that now. I mean, are they surprised? That was their game. It looks like that's their game plan coming in, was to run the ball. They've obviously put him in some unique sets and had him probably go outside off the edge a little more than usual, and it seems to be paying off. It's another forced throw over the middle, almost intercepted by Aldon Smith. Quick slam by Connor Cook. I don't know what he was looking for there, and that's the dangerous area in which I was talking about earlier. Let's just take the 3. Let's not force anything here. I'm surprised on the 2nd and 10 they didn't give the ball to Lamar Miller there. But I mean, that seems to be their bread and butter, and they need to go back to that when they get closer to the goal line.
I hate to say it, Connor, but don't be taking any passing lessons from Derek Carr right now. That looked like one that he was making earlier. We got a 3rd and 10 here on the 11-yard line. 2:20 to go here in the first half. Cook under center, looking to pass. Looks right, goes through his progression. A nice pass there, safe throw. Make sure he doesn't turn it over. It's going to be 4th and 5, and let's see if Houston is able to get the field goal off this time.
Yeah, I'd really like to see that pass a little bit more catchable so they can get a little rack opportunity right there to Jalen Strong and possibly a chance to get into the end zone as he had to leave his feet and fell on the ground before he could make a play. But, I mean, that obviously that had some potential there, too. Even though it was an underneath throw, they could have picked up some rack and maybe possibly put 7-6 on the board.
This one is successfully off and through, and Houston with the 10-3 lead. Now Oakland's going to get the ball. 3 timeouts left. 2-minute drill opportunity, but Derek Carr not firing all cylinders. How important is it for Oakland to maybe not even get points on this, just put together a good drive at this point?
I think it's a confidence issue. If you see Derek Carr throw another turnover, interception, fumble, or a quick 3 and out, I mean, what is that going to do to his confidence going into the next half, or even to Houston's confidence on offense if they can get back on the field with some time left?
Oh, and if he throws another interception, I don't know how much longer they can stick with Carr. He comes out under center, hands it to Latavius Murray, and he has a nice hole in the left side as he gets up near the first down. Might actually have it. He is just short 2nd and inches. They're going to go to hurry-up offense. See if Carr can run this effectively. Under center again with Latavius Murray in the backfield, and it just hands it off to Murray again. His workhorse up the middle for a big 20-yard gain, and just like that, Oakland's got a little movement right here on this 2-minute drill before the half.
Well, Latavius has been running the ball well for them all season, and he's continuing to do it this game, even against a top rush defense in the NBL. But it's all going to fall back on Derek Carr. You know, you're down 10-3 right now. At some point, Houston's going to play the rush, and you're definitely going to have to move the ball in the air.
Ball's on the 40-yard line. Carr out of the shotgun, throws it, and he's got Michael Crabtree on a little corner route there into enemy territory, and that's probably, more than anything, a huge confidence boost for Carr to make that throw.
Yeah, a little routine corner route, C route for Michael Crabtree to Derek Carr. I mean, just maybe covering the hard flats for Houston. Not really one of the toughest throws to make. So we'll see how as Carr goes down immediately as I'm speaking, and that's Jadeveon Clowney, and they're going back into a no huddle. Probably should burn a timeout right now. No reason to hurry up and get to the line to make a quick decision. Carr steps back and he throws a little quick slant over to Seth Roberts over the middle. Nice game, puts him at a 3rd and manageable, back to a 3rd and 7. So a sack by Clowney, no huddle. Burns about 15 seconds, 10-15 seconds on the game clock, and then makes a nice throw over the middle of Seth Roberts. So now we're at a 3rd and 7, 3rd and manageable. Now, do you take a run here or draw and put your kicker in an opportunity to kick a field goal, or are you playing for the first down that got you in trouble earlier and had Carr throw 2 interceptions already?
It'll be an interesting call. If it were me, I'd be trying to get that first down here with 35 seconds left. That's got to be a demoralizing sack, though, for this offensive line. Only a 3-man rush coming there. Just get straight off beat off the left side as Carr comes out in the shotgun, 3 wide to the right. Cooper on the left. He's dropping back, looking for someone, and once again he is hit up the middle. And now we're in that 4th down, 37-yard line. It's about a 52-yard field goal from there. Are you interested by the play call there? It didn't look like there were any quick routes or anything to get some chunk yards.
Yeah, I just wonder what tape they watched. I mean, it's like Derek Carr's internal clock is on. It should be on Eastern time, but it's on Central time. So he's sitting there and he's sitting in the pocket as if he has another second or two, but he doesn't. And you see it continuously happening, and he's just staring and staring and staring down, and you just don't see any movement in the pocket, just sitting there. You need to step up and go if you got the space to take off, or you need to buy yourself some more time. But being a sitting duck in the pocket like that definitely doesn't do your team any good, and definitely doesn't help it. As you say, they're running intermediate to deep routes, and there's nothing really quick to dump off on that 3rd and 7. So it's a mix between play calling and Derek Carr just not being really efficient in the pocket right now.
So the 54-yard field goal, big boot there. It is good to make the score 10-6, 27 seconds. If you're Houston, do you try to get anything going with 2 timeouts?
Oh, I'd run Lamar Miller, but it looks like they're coming out an empty backfield set. Oh, they're going to run a quick little screen play to Jalen Strong. Get out of bounds, get out of bounds. He doesn't get out of bounds. He picks up the 1st down, and Houston's forced to burn a timeout.
I think that's one of those moments where you got to know where you are on the field. Those extra 2 yards are not worth that timeout. But 21 seconds left. Jalen Strong with a nice little completion and run. And we're going to be seeing if Houston looks to push it downfield here. They're on their own 37-yard line with 21 seconds left. And now 1 timeout. What do you think you would be looking for here if you were Connor Cook in this Houston offense?
I definitely don't want to put Connor Cook in a situation where you could turn it over right here and give up another 3 points. I'd definitely be looking for something underneath, playing it safe. But he's going to take a deep shot down the field. He's looking, slightly overthrowing star wide receiver DeAndre Hopkins down the left sideline. They're looking like they're going to take a shot. I mean, maybe this sets up a nice draw play, and they can somehow get 30, 40 yards and kick a field goal. But I don't see any reason to take another chance with Connor Cook right now. That was their chance right there. Slightly overthrown into some good coverage. So I expect a run here from Houston.
If there's one thing that's been proven is they hand it off to Lamar Miller. He's got a nice little hole on the right side, breaks a tackle, and he's up to the 50-yard line, 9 seconds left. Houston's going to call timeout. They've sort of moved into Hail Mary range. But interesting to see as the play calling here on this last drive. Houston playing with a lot of confidence right now. I think they feel like that they're winning by a lot more than that 10-6 score shows.
Yeah, I'm looking at Lamar Miller and I'm thinking, wow, this guy just looks so impressive today. I'd feel confident too if I was the Houston Texans going into half right now against Raiders. You knew it was going to be a dogfight. You knew it was going to be a competitive defensive battle, but you didn't have any idea that Lamar Miller would have the success he's having right now running against this Oakland Raiders defense.
4 seconds left here in the first half, and see if we're going to see Connor Cook just sort of hand the ball off here, or we're going to test his arm strength. He does hand it to Lamar Miller, who gets a good chunk of yards, but that's going to bring us to the end of the half. The score, Houston 10, Oakland 6. Let me ask you this, Bomber. With Derek Carr struggling as much as he is, Do you think they should switch quarterbacks? But more, if Derek Carr is in there, what do you think the coaching staff has to do to make him more comfortable?
Well, you got to get him some completions, get him some rhythm. Let's take the intermediate to deep and go short to intermediate, and let's look for those quick flats, and let's let the wheels on our guys get us some yards. Let's stop trying to throw for everything. Let's let our receivers, our tight ends, and our halfbacks pick up the yards on the ground with some quick throws, and bring the defense in a little bit before we start taking shots over the top. Also, on that point, I want to get back to that last halftime, that last play before half. So the last drive. So they're driving, and remember we say, hey, Strong should have got out of bounds on that wide receiver screen. Well, if they would have had that extra timeout at the end, they could have possibly been in for a long field goal there with Lamar Miller picking up that nice run at the end of the half.
Oh, and Connor Cook takes a big hit here on the first play of the second half. That looked like a nice coverage sack. They brought a blitz off the left side. Big hit on Cook. Looked like the first time that the Oakland defense was able to penetrate that offensive line and get in the backfield and get to Connor Cook.
Yeah, definitely probably more of a coverage sack there. Connor Cook had nobody open, and he needs to step up in the pocket. You can't just keep dropping back.
Cook in the shotgun motioning receiver out to the left. He's got Miller in the backfield here on a 2nd and long. Dropping back,
oh, wow.
looking deep, and a dangerous throw there. Looked like he had a receiver in the tight end and an intermediate route over the middle, but instead goes for the one hit, and I think that decision is a questionable one because instead of having a 3rd and maybe 10, you're now looking at 3rd and 20.
Yeah, and let's take a look at what the defensive coordinator from the Raiders said about Connor Cook. He goes, we feel we have the slight upper hand as we go into this game, knowing Connor Cook slightly as he played for us. Started a little bit last year while Carr was hurt. We know it's important to get at him early and often in this game, and that's kind of what they look to be doing in the second half. Maybe they're going back to what their original idea was coming into this game, but due to the running game being so successful, kind of put a damper on that. But this second half, quick 3 and out, and it looks like they're getting to the quarterback and making him force some throws.
Deep pass incomplete, so we're going to have a punt here. Oakland receives the punt. He's over the 50. He's to the 46-yard line. Oakland going to have nice field position here for Derek Carr. Let's see what the offensive staff talked about at halftime. You think it was a happy locker room in there talking to Derek Carr?
I mean, I'm thinking, do they make the change and give Mallett a shot if he throws another pick? But, I mean, when the game's so close like this, you can't. So I think Derek Carr's really upset. I mean, you heard what he said on the Commissioner Corners podcast post-game after losing to the Broncos in that close game. He has problems sleeping at night when he takes a loss. So this guy really holds himself accountable. So you just hope for a young quarterback like this, he can get himself right, and the Raiders can start playing better in the passing attack.
3 yards on first down, one of those short routes you were talking about at halftime, trying to get Carr into some sort of rhythm. Bringing up a 2nd and 7 here on the 43-yard line. He's got 2 wide out. Murray in the backfield, handing it off to Murray over the right side. A nice little hole there, and he is able to get a good chunk of that. Looks like it's going to be about a 3rd and 1. Wonder how much they're going to be handing it to Latavius Murray, because he's having a great game so far.
Yeah, you got to let that big dog eat. But let's look at Murray on that run right there. Nice little hesitation and allowed him to cut right back up the middle. And that's what he does so well. He's got power, he's got speed, and he's got agility. I mean, this guy has the tools to do it all for Oakland. Throw over the middle, interception. Wow. Number 29, Houston Texans defense gets a deflection, interception around the line of scrimmage. It looked like they were going underneath to a drag, possibly to Amari Cooper on a drag or to the halfback. And Carr picks up his 3rd interception of the game. Now, I can't blame that one on him, but I do question why they're throwing into such traffic so quickly.
And once again, we talk about how good a game Murray's having. 3rd and 1 on the opponent's side of the field. You're driving for a touchdown. You got great field position. Interesting call not to give it to Murray again, as Cook hands it to his big dog, Lamar Miller, but the Oakland Raiders defensive line is there. Big 4-yard loss, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and 13. But going back to that last play, the interception, again, as you said, probably not on Carr as much as that ball was batted around. A nice play by Hal there, who had the sack earlier. But it's 3rd and 1. Are you not just handing the ball to Latavius Murray and see if he can get you the first down?
I honestly don't know how you throw that ball. I mean, it's 3rd and 1. He's a workhorse. He's been picking up 4, 5, 6 yards every time. And then on 3rd and 1, you decide to pass the ball. I mean, it seems like you're overthinking it. Maybe you're overthinking what the defense is, and you're trying to play a step ahead as Connor Cook makes a throw a little bit behind the tight end, but he's able to pick it up and pick up the first down. Derek Carr on the season is 6 touchdowns and 17 interceptions now, and it's getting into that territory where you start saying, maybe he needs to sit a game.
And again, another just moment where it looked like the Oakland offensive coordinators are overthinking themselves. Is a little swing pass out to Miller.
There's
a flag down.
But
Miller's at the 20. He's at the 10. He's in the end zone. We'll check that flag, though. Came out pretty early. It is going to be a hold. And those screen passes, those little swing passes are tough for the offensive linemen. They got to get out. They got to block. And they nailed one of them for holding. But even with the hold, you do see the explosiveness that the Houston Texans have in Lamar Miller.
Lamar Miller is just a stud. This he's like he's half cleat and it's half rocket on his
How
on his
impressive.
foot. So I mean, his speed is just electrifying.
Cook in the shotgun on 1st and 20 after the big touchdown gets called back. He does hand it to Lamar Miller, who gets looks like about 2 or 3 yards. Getting some of that back here on 2nd and 18. But looking at the Houston Texans, I mean, again, I get they're only up 4, but you got to applaud the Houston offensive coordinators for their play call. And they've been feeding their big dog, Lamar Miller, and he's been running wild all over this Oakland defense.
Yeah, when you look at a guy like Connor Cook and you see 65% completion percentage, you say, oh, let me think. How is that even possible with a guy like this as limited as him? As far as throwing, and he's young, he doesn't have the experience. How is he throwing at such a high clip? Well, it's because they're integrating this hybrid offense around Lamar Miller's just big playability. You're handing the ball off to him, you're pitching the ball to him, you're throwing him on screens, you're pulling the defense in, and then it's opening everything else intermediate to deep that Connor Cook can basically throw to, and it's been pretty much wide open when he's thrown over the middle.
Yeah, it looks like they're simplifying the play ball for Cook a lot, giving him simple throws, and as you said, opening up the playbook with those runs with Miller as he comes out on 3rd and 18, Cook in the shotgun, 3 wide to the right, 1 to the left. He drops back, looking, and he's under pressure and is hit, but is able to get the ball off. Good job just getting the ball off there, not taking another sack, but it's going to be 4th down and punt here for Houston. How big is this drive for Oakland now? We're in the 3rd quarter. Oakland hasn't moved the ball really at all in the last 2 quarters. How big is it for them to get something going here?
I mean, we want to just see some points. We want to see anything but a 3-and-out or a turnover. That's all I want to see, and I'll be okay. This game's well within reach. Cook is obviously struggling a little bit. When he's off, he seems to be really off. Today he's been rushed, but he's dropping back in the pocket too far, and I believe Derek Carr's sitting in the pocket too much. So we want to see some more movement and stepping up in the pocket from both of these quarterbacks. I think that would drastically improve their ability to throw the ball. As a little toss play out to Latavius Murray, picks up about 8-9 yards, going to put him at a 2nd and 2.
And once again, we see another example of Latavius Murray doing a great job, but more importantly, that Oakland offensive line is really sealing that edge and giving Murray room to run. Let's see if they feed the ball to him more as Carr comes under center. He's got 2 wide to the right and 1 to the left. Murray in the backfield. He hands it off to Murray, and Murray, it looks like he's close to the 1st down. J.J. Watt there in the middle. It's going to be a 3rd and inches, but J.J. Watt, that big man in the middle, is creating havoc for this Oakland offense to handle.
Yeah, J.J. Watt is just an absolute monster, and we knew that coming in. The whole league knows that already, and that was just a great play. I mean, you got space. In space, you got a guy like that making a tackle like that, and possibly having the opportunity to take Oakland off the field as they run a fullback dive, and they pick up about 3 or 4 yards. Going to give Oakland a 1st down and move the chains.
Not a big play there. It's a play that's going to show up as just a 5-yard run and a 3rd down conversion. But we talked about on that last drive, they were throwing it on 3rd and 1. This time they just give it to the big dog and let him get that tough yardage. Gets 5 yards there as Carr comes under center. I formation, Cooper to his left, Crabtree to his right. He hands it off in a little misdirection to Murray, and Murray with another big chunky yards. You think Oakland's offensive coordinators are listening to us commentate this game? Looks like they're feeding Latavius Murray a little more.
Yeah, it looks like he's 13 for 80 yards right now. Lamar Miller's 9 for 69. It's been a predominantly run-heavy game, and they've had a lot of success doing it. So why go away from it when the game's 6-10?
Yeah, I've never seen a 6-10 game feel so one-sided at this point as we've been talking about Oakland's struggles, but here's Carr under center. He's got 2 wide to the left. He's dropping back to throw the ball, and another looked like a little miscommunication there. It really wasn't anyone there. Might have been tipped at the line, but it brings up a 3rd and 5, and yet another example of Carr having a lot of trouble getting in rhythm today.
Yeah, I mean, when you miss when you're that off on a 3 to 4 yard little drag from where you're throwing it, it's like, man, what can you do? How can you simplify or bring the offense back any more than that?
Interesting formation. His car is empty backfield. He throws it over the middle. It is Amari Cooper. Haven't heard his name in a while, but he does complete that drag route, and it's a big first down there for Oakland to keep this drive going. And Amari Cooper once again coming up big for this Oakland Raiders offense.
And another drag from Oakland. Looks like they're constantly seeming to go underneath, passing the ball. And maybe it's a smart strategy after 3 interceptions from Carr already. And looks like number 4 is in the store. And it's just been purchased by the Houston Texans.
Jackson.
Number
Kareem Jackson with a
25.
big interception there, and that one did look like that was Derek Carr's fault. It looked like he might have had, it was a little corner route, and he threw it to the inside instead of the outside and right into Kareem Jackson's hands for the 4th interception for this Houston Texans defense. I will point out, though, an interesting note right now, the Houston Texans do have 4 interceptions right now on Derek Carr, but only 10 points. Is that a concern if you're the Houston offense?
I mean, if I'm Houston, I feel like I'm winning this game, but it's still there for me to lose. So it really would be tough for me to look at this game and come back and see Oakland comes back and takes it, and you think of all those opportunities you had because your defense made some great plays. But guys, don't forget to follow @BomberLeague on Twitter and hit us with the hashtag #CarOverrated and let us know what you think about Derek Carr's performance this season and even better in this game. What could he be doing better to help the Oakland Raiders get some offense?
We are at the end of the 3rd quarter now, heading into 4th quarter territory with the score Houston 10, Oakland 6. Interesting moment here as we head into the 4th quarter, 2nd and 9. Cook under center. He's got 2 wide to the right, 1 to the left. Lamar Miller in the backfield. He's dropping back, looking to throw this time. He looks deep over the middle, and he has his man. A big throw right there, but his receiver paid for it. He's down on the field. The trainers are looking at him, but a big-time throw there by Connor Cook, getting a big chunk yards into Oakland territory.
And that's their leading receiver, Jalen Strong. Receptions-wise, he's got 23 on the season, 325 yards, no touchdowns, but he's been somewhat of a security blanket for Connor Cook this season, as he's been a real reliable set of hands for the young quarterback.
We'll see if we can get word on his injury, what's up with him. A nice little throw there to Fuller from Cook, bringing up a 2nd and 3 on the 30-yard line. Houston looking for more points to extend this lead as Connor Cook breaks the huddle. He's got 2 wide to the right, 1 to the left. Lamar Miller in the backfield. Cook under center, hands it to the big dog Lamar Miller, but he has nowhere to go. A nice play there. We're getting word from the sideline that Jalen Strong will not be returning to this game. He's got an injured back. We'll see how that affects Houston later in the season, how much that's going to hurt their passing offense.
Well, that's going to hurt him this game. I mean, now Will Fuller's going to step up into that number 2 spot for their receiving core, and then you've seen a complete drop-off of production where there's not another wide receiver out of those 3 that have made catches this entire season. So I probably would see a lot more 2 wide receiver, 2 tight end sets ending the game for the Texans right now.
Cook in the shotgun looking to pass here on 3rd and 5, and he has his man over the middle. A nice solid throw there for a first down.
And that's Colby Listenby with his first reception of the season. As I was just saying, 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers. They come out 3 wide receivers. Listenby steps into the slot role. And he makes a catch, a big play in the 4th quarter of a close game.
Don't you love seeing receivers get their first catch in Week 8 of the MVL season? You got Connor Cook coming out in the pistol formation. He's got 2 wide to the left. He's going to hand it to Lamar Miller over the left side, and it looked like he had a hole, but a nice tackle from behind by Mack. We're also getting word that Ellis, the defensive tackle who was down earlier, he has an abdominal injury, and he will not be returning. How much is that going to affect the Oakland defensive line trying to stop Lamar Miller?
As long as you got Khalil Mack back there, you should be okay, you would think. But they've been struggling all day, so I don't know if it's going to affect them too much as number 15, and that's that guy, Will Fuller, makes another big play for the Houston Texans, as he had a great kick return, punt return earlier in the game, coming up with a nice slant over the middle, putting them to the Oakland 9-yard line.
Cook looking a little more confident right now. He's making some of these throws he was missing earlier. He's got him at 1st and goal here on the 9-yard line. How big is it? I mean, I think it's pretty obvious. Oakland's got to keep Houston out of the end zone here in the 4th quarter, right?
Yeah, and Houston in the red zone, they've been 85%, settled for mostly field goals this season. But I mean, Oakland has to step up here. The defense has to stop them from getting a touchdown because I don't see how an offense struggling this bad could actually overcome 11 points with 4 minutes left.
2nd and goal after that 3-yard run from Miller. Ball on the 5-yard line. Man in motion. Cook under center. Tosses it to Lamar Miller to the left side. He's held up. He's fighting through, but he is brought down. And it's going to bring up a 3rd and goal on the 2-yard line. And this is what we call gut check time, where the big boys are going to have to come out and stop this Houston Texans offense from getting into the end zone 2 yards out.
Yeah, another toss to Lamar Miller. He seems to really love that edge. 3rd and goal on the 2. I mean, this is
Do you give it to Miller again?
You got to. I mean, this is where the pick 6 happens. For a young guy like Connor Cook, I just don't see, unless you're going to throw a fade to Hopkins right here, which it looks like they got a nice setup to possibly run one.
Possibly single coverage on the left side.
I would probably just hand it off to Lamar Miller and call it 3, and that's exactly what they're going to do. They get down to the 1-yard line. 3:08 left in the game. Texans up 10-6. They can get a field goal, and let's go back to that blocked field goal. I mean, this would be putting it to 16-6 if that field goal wasn't blocked earlier.
And the kick is up and is good, extending the lead to 7. I think what you said is right on. We always talk about where you can make up points and where some of the biggest plays are in terms of momentum are on defense and special teams. Houston does have the 4 interceptions of Derek Carr, but that blocked field goal really is coming up big as Oakland, even with their offense struggling as they'll take a knee in the end zone, does have an opportunity to drive down the field here and tie the game when if they had that field goal, they'd be up by 2 scores.
Yeah, exactly, OSU. But, I mean, I don't think it's really going to matter at this point. I think it's just, what's the over and under? 3 plays before Carr throws another pick? 3 passing attempts? I mean, that's where we got to be thinking right now. We just don't see much. As Latavius Murray still having his way with this Texans defense, it seems like the Texans defense is almost playing pass. The entire game, they're playing pass, and they're saying, we'll let you run, but we know you don't have the patience to really run it on us all game, so we're going to sit back and play pass, and then we're going to pick you off.
Well, and you got to say, I mean, Houston is playing a lot of pass defense here, so you got to love that call by Oakland, even though they are in sort of the 2-minute drill, running the ball still. As they throw a screen out to Murray, he's got blockers in front of him. He's able to get 8 yards there. Let's see if Oakland is patient here. They do have 3 timeouts. They do have the ability to keep running the ball. And with Derek Carr struggling as much, you got to think they got to give the ball to Murray if they're going to have any success here on this drive.
Yeah, you notice they're starting to utilize Murray more in the passing attack, getting him a couple screens in the second half and running the ball with them, as you've seen just a screenplay right now. I think they just need to ride Murray all the way down to the red zone and hope Amari Cooper can make a play for him.
Carr hands it off to the aforementioned Murray, breaks tackle, and then just takes a lick in there. He's got 15 rushes for 93 yards. That's got to be a big plus for this Oakland Raiders offensive line core, creating so many holes for Murray as we bring up a 3rd and 3 and hit the 2-minute warning.
Yeah, Latavius Murray is 3rd in the NBL in fumbles for a halfback. Already has 2 this year, and that hit right there was fumble worthy. It just didn't happen. So we're glad Murray was able to hang on to that ball. So was the Oakland Raider Nation. But man, what a licking he took on that hit.
Yeah, he'll be remembering that hit tomorrow as Carr comes out. Big 3rd down here, 3rd and 3, balls on the 43-yard line with 2 minutes to go here in the 4th quarter. Carr dropping back to pass, and he throws it to Latavius Murray. His man comes up with the catch. They're going to run a little hurry up, but a nice play there to get the 1st down. You got to think we're in 4-down territory now. And a timeout called by Houston. Interesting there. Looked like Houston wasn't really set. Oakland running the hurry up. But a nice underneath throw there. Maybe a little confidence booster for Carr as he looks to get something going, because as much as they can feed Murray, they are going to have to get the passing game going here if they're going to get a touchdown. Carr in the shotgun, 3 wide to the right, Murray in the backfield, and he hands it to Murray in another big hole up the middle. He gets the 1st down, and he's up over 100 yards for the day. What a game for Latavius Murray.
And I was just about to say, OSU, I don't think they need to throw the ball until they get into the red zone. I'm sticking with that. I think Texans are going to let him walk right into the red zone, handing it off to Murray and letting this guy just walk down the field. And then you have to make a throw and try to get something. As a tipped pass underneath, another underneath throw broken up or dropped by a Raider wide receiver. Wow. I mean, you would think the little 3 to 4 yard passes, drags, and shallow crosses would be pretty much money for Derek Carr, and those are where he struggled the most this game.
And you do see sometimes young quarterbacks maybe trying to throw the ball a little too hard, gunning it into the receiver's hands underneath. But that looked like one that was a real easy pickup and just a straight flat-out drop as Carr comes into shotgun Murray in the backfield. And they're going to give it to him again, but this time the Texans' defensive line sees it coming and is able to stop him. It's going to bring up a 3rd and 9 and a huge play at 1:10 and the clock running.
This is it. This might be where you take a shot if you're Derek Carr right now. I mean, I would think Houston's probably playing the sticks right now, and they don't think you have the courage to try to drive it downfield after 4 interceptions. But I say, hey, man, you know you're as good as you were. If you're as good as you were last year, this is when you take the shot and you throw it to Amari Cooper and give him a chance to go get it.
Cooper, single on the right, 3 wide to the left. He throws it underneath, and Roberts makes a nice catch and breaks underneath the defenders inside the 20-yard line. Timeout called. You got to say, not only a nice throw, but a great catch and move to get past the defenders who were, as you were saying, playing sort of at the sticks, and gets past that first line of defense and is able to get it inside the 20-yard line.
Seth Roberts, what a play, man. I mean, that really is exactly what the Raiders needed, was somebody that could catch the ball and then run after the catch, and that's what they've been lacking this year, as Roberts actually has been second on their team. And there goes Crabtree. It looks like it's going to be holding on the offense, going to bring it back a little bit.
Oh, that's a killer penalty because they had a nice play.
That definitely is going to hurt the rhythm of the Raiders' offense right now, as they need to get into the end zone to tie this game up. But Seth Roberts, 17 receptions on the year, 277 yards, and a touchdown, second for the Oakland Raiders in receiving this year. So, I mean, those are the kind of things he brings to the ball club.
Carr in the shotgun, 2 to the left, 2 to the right. Murray in the backfield. And looks like they faked the draw play. They're going to throw it over the middle. They have Roberts, and he is down on the 1-yard line. What a great throw there from Derek Carr. Giving credit where credit is due. He put the ball on the money there.
He's good versus man coverage, as a nice play action sells it after all that Latavius Murray running. And there goes Derek Carr. Is he in? Touchdown. Oakland Raiders have tied this game up. Possibly. We've seen a block earlier. And look at this kicker's hair. Phenomenal hair from this kicker.
Fabio kicking the ball up and through the uprights.
My goodness, that boy's got swag.
10 plays, 73 yards for Oakland, but we know what we're all going to be talking about. It's not going to be Derek Carr's nice throw. It's that kicker's hair, because that is long and flowing, just like that ball through the uprights. It is 13-13 here with 25 seconds left. Interesting setup here. Houston's going to get the ball, 25-yard line. They have 2 timeouts. Are they going to try to put the ball down the field and maybe get into field goal range for the win? Or are they going to be happy playing for overtime?
Oh, man, this is an offensive coordinator's dream, and also a nightmare when you have a young quarterback like Connor Cook. But this is his opportunity to leave the Raiders with a bad taste in their mouth. You traded me last year, and this is what you're going to get. That's what I'd be saying if I was Connor Cook. I don't know what they're going to do. They got 2 timeouts. They burned a timeout earlier, so that might come back to haunt them at this point with 25 seconds left. Oh, dangerous throw. That's a dangerous throw by Connor Cook right there. Throws into essentially 2 guys running into this at the same route, and it just was completely too much traffic.
You gotta say, if you're a Houston Texans fan, you're probably holding your breath on that throw, because as a young quarterback, 20 seconds left, you can't make that throw here in crunch time. You got to make smarter throws than that. 21 seconds left. We're here in the 4th quarter in a 13-13 game here on NBL Live. Thank you all for joining us. I'm OSU, hanging out here with Bomber, and we have a game today. Connor Cook under center. He's got 2 wide to the left, 1 to the right. He hands it to his dog, Lamar Miller, who makes a nice move, but only gets about 9 yards. Houston's going to call timeout here. Interesting there. Didn't even get the first down, but they're going to use a timeout.
Man, I mean, Lamar Miller's he is just electrifying. He is just something to watch. He is a highlight waiting to happen, and he's definitely ran his way into player of the game if the Texans can hold on, in my view.
And Cook is going to play action to Lamar Miller. He's throwing it deep over the middle, and it is almost caught, but it is on the ground. I thought he had it there for a second, Bomber.
That's the play DeAndre Hopkins has to make. He's your star wide receiver. He is the guy. He is the guy on this franchise on the offensive side of the ball. he's got to make that play, man. How do you drop that ball? He's just going to be, that's going to haunt him for a couple days.
He's going to be kicking himself.
If they end up losing this game, man, that's going to be huge.
So 2 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. It certainly looks like we are going to be heading to overtime. A little bonus football here on NBL Live, barring some sort of magical or disastrous if you're Oakland or if you're Houston's defense. They're going to drop back, make sure nothing goes over their head as Carr comes under center. He's just going to hand it off to Latavius Murray, who is stopped for a 4-yard gain. And we're heading to overtime. Now, Bomber, let me ask you this as we head to overtime. Oakland's got a little bit of momentum with that drive, but Houston's probably played better for the majority of the game. Who do you give the edge to going into overtime?
I mean, I'd give it to Houston, but they've had the edge the entire game, and we're going to overtime. So I'm going with the Raiders. That's right, Raider Nation. I'm taking your team. You're getting the ball right now. I expect Derek Carr to change his season around right now. This is week 7, week 8. He's 3-3 right now. You're 500. You don't believe you're a 500 ball club. Go out and show the rest of the world and show the NBL that you're better than that and get this victory after you played poorly the whole game and change the season around.
And once again, for those of you who might not have been following NBL or the NFL for a while, the overtime rules were changed a couple years ago. No longer does a field goal win it on the first drive. They do need a touchdown to win on this first drive. So I'm sure they'll be looking for that as they hand it to Latavius Murray. He's got a big hole up the middle, and he's got up for a 15-yard gain. He's up over 120 yards rushing today on 19 carries. What a game for Latavius Murray.
Latavius Murray, Lamar Miller, I mean, however this game falls, one of those getting the NBL Live Player of the Game, which you can find previous Player of the Games on 365.maddenbomberleague.com. So go ahead and check us out if you're interested in joining our league or you're looking for something. And picked off! Oh, my gosh! Derek Carr again! Intercepted!
5th pick. Oh, Derek Carr. It's the 2nd pick for McKinney today. And just as you were talking about giving Carr some credit, the Oakland Raiders possibly driving down, he makes another boneheaded throw. That throw was not needed to be made, and Houston with a huge turnover as they can now win on a field goal.
I have never seen a quarterback struggle so much with drags and shallow crosses as I did with Derek Carr today. There was some serious issues going on with this Oakland Raiders offense.
I mean, you got to feel bad for the kid. He's a young kid. He had such a great year last year, leading Oakland to a division title, and now he's in his second. It's unbelievable at how much he is struggling to move the ball, and not only move the ball, he's completed 5 passes to the other team, which is half as many passes he's completed to his own team.
And all the fans wanted to see was Fabio kick this game-winning field goal.
That's what I wanted to see. Come on, I love Fabio.
And now it just seems so it just doesn't seem like it's going to happen.
A mandate for all kickers out there. Y'all got to grow your hair out because we want more Fabios kicking the balls. Houston's going to get the ball here on the 39-yard line. They're going to be here in overtime. Extra ball here on NBL Live. Connor Cook breaking the huddle. He's coming out in the shotgun. 2 wide to the right, 1 to the left, and Lamar Miller in the backfield. A motion man across the formation, and they throw it out to him on a little screen, and a nice tackle there by Joseph to keep that from going too far. It's a 4-yard gain, 2nd and 6.
Another safe throw for Connor Cook. I'm starting to realize how they're throwing 65% completion with this guy. They're really, they're really running an offense that's ideal for the experience and the skill set of their quarterback, and it's good to see, man. They're allowing their defense to make these plays and allowing their defense to win them these games.
Yeah, not expecting your young quarterback to be Peyton Manning or Tom Brady in your first year is huge. As Cook comes out under center, 3 tight ends to the left and a wide receiver to the right. Lamar Miller in the backfield. Play clock running down. He hands it to Miller, who makes a nice cut, but is immediately met, and it's going to be 3rd and 7. On the 35-yard line, it's still a pretty long field goal if they were to kick it, but they do have field goal in the books today. They just got 2 of them. But you got to be looking to get at least some chunk yards here to make it a more manageable field goal at least than the long one that it is now.
Yeah, I'd definitely say give it to Lamar Miller up the middle, but it looks like they're coming out empty backfield set. Aggressive play calling here for the Houston Texans. They're not settling for a long field goal here. It looks like they're going to look to move the chains and get even closer.
Cook empty backfield, 3 to the right, 1 to the left. He is looking. He's throwing deep to the end zone. He's intercepted.
Oh my gosh! Why?
Why would you make that throw? I mean, I'm sorry, folks.
Oh my gosh!
I'm sorry, folks. I know we're sitting here trying to watch this game as impartial as possible, but you only need a field goal to win. You're in field goal range at some cosmic level, and you make a dangerous deep throw. And credit Oakland, that was a great play on the ball, but why throw that ball on third down?
This game is set up for Fabio to be the player of the game. I've just realized it came to it just came to me in my head right now that this guy, Fabio, this kicker, he came on the scene. What, in the fourth quarter with the minute left, we recognize that wavy hair down to the middle of his back. This guy looks like a pure stud. He's about to kick one from 50, and there goes Amari Cooper. Shake move. Gets down to the 38. Nice juke by Amari Cooper. And now it's just the pendulum changes again, and now the Raiders, I can't even keep up. The Raiders are balling now. I mean, what's going on?
I'm about to name you as player of the game, the way this game is going. It's unbelievable to look at the stat line for Derek Carr. He's 12 of 26 for 151 yards and 5 picks, and yet he has a chance to win this game here in overtime as he comes out in the shotgun. Latavius Murray to his right. He's looking to throw again. Oh, boy, he throws it deep, and it looked like it was almost pick number 6. Amari Cooper playing a little cornerback there to make sure that wasn't an interception. 2nd and 10. What is going on today, Bomber?
All right,
is everybody just launching it?
Let's settle down. I got a theory right here. So he's got 5 picks, right?
Sure.
Here's how this game's going to end. This game's going to end with the pick 6.
Okay, I was going
for
fumble,
his
but
6th
I like
pick.
yours.
Do you see the pick 6 for a 6th pick?
That's
how this game's ending. That's what it was meant to be. That's where it's
Bomber
going.
calling it now. Pick 6 on the 6th pick. Carr comes out shotgun 3 wide to the right, 1 to the left. Murray in the backfield, dropping back to pass. He throws it to the flat to Walford. A nice safe throw. Didn't get intercepted, so it's got to be a positive for Carr. Bringing up a 3rd and 6, but getting a little chunk yards to make it a 3rd and manageable as opposed to that 3rd and 10.
Porter, the owner of the Denver Broncos, says hashtag Carr overrated is still alive and well. He can't throw past 5 yards without throwing an interception. Very funny stuff, but I'd also like to say even his 5-yard passes are pretty much interceptions at this point. We've seen a lot of drags and shallow crosses get picked this game as well.
Little flat route there, unable to get to the first down. So it's going to be 4th and 2 on the 47-yard line. Here in a 13-13 game in overtime. Interested to see, it looks like they're debating going for it here on 4th down. What would you punt the ball here with 2:35 left?
No, I mean, I am so confused. I would go for it, but the way this game's playing out, they might just throw it right back to you. And you might be in field goal range.
The ball. I mean, who knows what's going to happen? If Carr comes out in the shotgun, they're going to be going for it on 4th and 2, and he has his man.
It's going to be close.
Move.
It's going to be close. They gave him the first down. You should challenge it. Houston should challenge that spot. Wow, what a great open field tackle by the Houston Texans. Almost stopped a 4th and 2, which he looked like he had so much more yards, but McKinney is just playing like a monster out there. He really needs to be tested.
Those got to be tough yards, though. I mean, you got to give credit there where credit is due. He made sure that he fought for that first down, knew where the sticks were, and we see too many times receivers going down or going out of bounds in front of the sticks. But a big play there to keep this drive going as Oakland has the ball first down. Our 2-minute warning's passed. They hand it to Murray up the middle, spins off a tackle, and it gets it up near the first down. 21 rushes for 135 yards. Latavius Murray, the 2 running backs, stealing the show today on NBL Live.
Latavius Murray just refuses to get tackled, and he was the one he just threw to on the flat that picked up the critical 4th down that kept this drive alive. Now he's spinning and avoiding tackles for losses and picking up 9.5 yards. And this guy's just been tremendous today.
Carr empty backfield. He's looking to throw again another flat route, and this is to Latavius Murray, who gets the first down, gets into field goal territory on the 32-yard line. And once again, folks, I am OSU. I'm hanging out here with Bomber here on NBL Live. We are in overtime, 13-13. Tell your friends, these are the exciting games you get to see on NBL Live. This has been a fun one as Derek Carr comes out handing it to Latavius Murray. And do you think he knows who J.J. Watt is? Do you think he knows who J.J. Watt is at this point? That's about the 3rd big hit he's had on Latavius Murray.
Oh, man. If he didn't know who he was before, he definitely knows now, man. Wow.
He's going to be having nightmares. Woof. So, minute 15 left. Ball's on the 33-yard line. We're looking at about a 50-yard field goal right now. I know Oakland wants to get it closer, but we saw already a deep shot from Houston when they were in field goal territory. Let's see if Oakland plays a little safer as in the shotgun. They're going to hand it off to Rodgers right up the middle, and again is tripped up, only getting a yard, bringing up a 3rd down. Now, Bomber, we've seen turnovers. What would you do if you're Oakland here under a minute left in overtime?
I'd throw that pick 6 for the 6th pick.
You just want your pick to be right. Come on.
I just want the pick 6 for the 6th pick to happen, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen. I can't believe they're throwing here. But they're going back to Latavius Murray. I mean, he's caught about 6 passes on this final drive. He's been unstoppable. This guy's just unbelievable.
1st and 10, Oakland using a timeout, and I think we might, I mean, depending on how this goes, because we've seen some crazy things happen, but we might be moving from hashtag Carr overrated to hashtag Fabio field goal, because we are inside the 25-yard line, 39 seconds left. Murray with another handoff. He is brought down immediately, clock running, and we're going to be seeing if Oakland is going to be able to put this game away, or if we're going to be ending in a tie, or who knows, maybe your pick 6 for 6 will happen.
Yeah, if Oakland throws the ball anymore at this point, they're crazy. They need to keep that ball on the ground and just keep giving it to Latavius Murray. Looks like it's going to be a little toss to the outside.
Tosses it to Murray. He is got a little lane, and he is brought down. 8 seconds left. Clock running 6-5. I assume that Oakland's going to take a timeout unless they're just not paying attention. They do. And I think we're about to see Fabio come out for a field goal. I think we need to get a hashtag going, hashtag Fabio goal. We're going to change him from field goals to Fabio goals here on MBL Live. We want more kickers to grow that hair out.
And there he goes, man. Wow, look at it. You're unsure about where the wind's going.
And
that's money.
The snap is back, the ball's down, the kick is up, and it is good! And the Oakland Raiders, unbelievably, as time expires in overtime, are going to walk out of here with a 16-13 win. Fabio with the field goal. And how impressive is this for Oakland to overcome 5 interceptions from Derek Carr to come back and win this game over the 4-2, now 4-3 Houston Texans?
What can you say, OSU? I mean, Texans outplayed them and they lost. You know, they completely outplayed them, they dominated them, and they lost. So, in the end, the Raiders, they just need to take this win and forget everything about it and move forward and learn from it, because there's nothing good they can take from this win other than the fact that it was a win.
What a game we had here on MBL Live. We got one more thing to tie up here. Bomber, let me ask you, MBL player of the game, who do you give it to tonight?
Latavius Murray, 24 carries, 143 yards. He's going to be my MBL Live player of the game, which you can find, and I believe OSU confirm Latavius Murray?
Yes, absolutely. Latavius Murray really kept this Oakland team in the game for sure.
And don't forget to subscribe and like this NBL Live if you enjoyed the broadcast. Also check us out on Twitter at Bomber League. And if you're looking for the NBL Live player of the game history or to see what Latavius Murray did, we're going to have the logo up shortly on 365.maddenbomberleague.com. So for OSU, I am Bomber, and we just want to say thank you for tuning in and hope to see you next time.